with the first question itself. So the first question was, we have to evaluate this integration from 0 to 2 pi. If we use the traditional method, so it will be lengthy, but we can use the shortcut that we discussed in the class. So what we can do, we can consider this. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what we can consider, suppose some complex number z is e to the power iota theta. So from this we can find sine theta in terms of theta or z. That is, sine theta can be written as e to the power iota theta minus e to the power minus iota theta by 2 iota. So it will be z minus z inverse by 2 iota. Similarly, cos theta will be z plus z inverse by 2. And if we find the dz, so dz will be iota z d theta. So we can put all the sine theta, cos theta, and d theta in terms of z in this expression. So this will now be a contour integration where the contour C will be a unit circle. So this is the unit circle that we need to integrate it. So this is the final integration that we can integrate. So how to integrate this? Firstly, we need to find the poles of this function. So to find the poles, we can use the quadratic equation. This is a 2D equation. This is a 2D equation in Z. So we can find the roots using the quadratic formula. So the roots, if you find, will be 2 minus iota and 2 minus iota by 5. So these are the two roots. And if you consider these roots, only the root 2 minus iota by 5 will lie inside the contour. This 2 minus iota will be outside. So we need to find residue only at this pole. So this will be our point of concentration. So how we can find the residue? So the residue at this pole 2 minus iota by 5 will be z minus this pole 2 minus iota by 5, and you will multiply this term by the whole function. The whole function is 2 by this quadratic equation. Now we can put this z equals to 2 minus iota by 5 in this complete equation, and we can find that the residue at this pole will be 1 by 2 iota. So if we know the residue at each poles, then we can easily integrate the equation. So the integration will now be 2 pi I times the residue. So it will be pi. So this is the answer. Let's discuss the next question. So the next question is also related to the same integration. That is, we are having cos 3 theta by 5 minus 4 cos theta. And we have to prove that this is equal to pi by 12. So again, assuming the same things, we assume that z is e to the power iota theta. We will write cos theta as z plus z inverse by 2. And also we will write cos 3 theta as e to the power 3 iota theta plus e to the power minus 3 iota theta by 2. So it will be z cube plus z to the power minus 3 by 2. Again, dz will be the same. So we can put all these expressions in the given integration. So the integration will now again converted to the contour integration, where the contour C is a unit circle again. So this is your complete integration. But now if you consider the denominator, there are actually 3 poles. One pole is at z equals to half, another pole is at z equals to 2, and also there is a pole of order 3. Actually, these z equals to half and z equals to 2 are the simple poles, but this z equals to 0 is a pole of order 3. So if we consider these 3 poles, only the pole z equals to 0 and z equals to half will lie inside the unit circle, while this z equals to 2 will be outside. So we need to find the residue only at these 2 poles. And how to find the residue of a pole of higher order, that we have already discussed, that we can use the differentiation equation. So if we find the residue at z equals to 0, it will be given by limit z tending to 0, 1 by 2 factorial, where this 2 is actually the n factorial, that is n minus 1 factorial, the pole of order n I am considering. It will be d2 by dz square, and again zq times the whole function. So from this, if you calculate this limit, so the residue at z equals to 0 will be 21 by 8. Similarly, we can find the residue at z equals to half. So it will be limit z tending to half, z minus half times the whole function. So if you calculate this, it will be minus 65 by 24. So these are the two residues at the poles inside the contour. So using the Cauchy residue theorem, what we can find the integration is that this factor is taken outside, so it will be minus 1 by 2 iota. Now 2 pi I times the sum of all the residues. So the first residue is 21 by 8 and second is minus 65 by 24. If you simplify this expression, you will get this is equal to pi by 12. So this is the required answer. Any doubt in these two questions? Okay, if there is no doubt, we can go to the next question. This is again the similar question, and again we can assume similarly that z is e to the power iota theta, and we can replace sine theta, theta, and d theta in this expression, and we can convert this integration into a contour corresponding contour integration. But if we consider the denominator, here the poles are of order 2. Here actually this is a biquadratic equation, so there will be 4 roots. But as there is a square term, so the 2 roots will be repeating. So the roots are 3i and I by 3, but they are of actually the square term, so they are of order 2. And in out of these 2 poles, only the I by 3 pole will lie inside the contour. So we need to find the residue at this pole only. So to find the residue, again we will use the differentiation equation, because the order of the pole is now more than 1, or the pole is not simple pole in this case. So the residue at z equals to I by 3 will be the limit z tending to I by 3, and you will use d by dz, and then again z minus I by 3 whole square and the whole function. We can calculate this residue, so this will be minus 5 by 256. And again, using the same Cauchy residue theorem, we can find this integration. It will be the factor outside the integration will be taken as it is, minus 4 by I, 2 pi I times the sum of residues. So it is minus 5 by 256. So this is your answer, 5 pi by 32. So these were the questions in which we integrated a sinusoidal function from limit 0 to 2 pi using the complex variables. Now we will solve 2 more questions, and that are related to, okay, sorry, this is again one more question here that we have already discussed. What I am saying that we solve this equation using the similar procedure, but there is another method to solve the same question. And what is that method? In the class, we have discussed that the integration 0 to 2 pi d theta by a plus b sine theta is actually 2 pi by square root of a square minus b square. We can use this expression to find the integration of our given question. How we can do this? Suppose I am integrating this numerator, the left hand side and the right hand side by a. So I am differentiating both the sides with a. So the differentiation of the left hand side will give you del by del a 1 by a plus b sine theta d theta. I am assuming the b as constant. So this integration, this differentiation will be minus 0 to 2 pi d theta by a plus b sine theta whole square. And if you differentiate the right hand side, it will give you minus 2 pi a by a square minus b square to the power 3 by 2. So we can, using these left hand side differentiation and the right hand side differentiation, we can claim that the integration 0 to 2 pi d theta by a plus b sine theta whole square will be equal to 2 pi a by a square minus b square to the power 3 by 2. And if we look carefully, the given integration, this is actually similar to this only. But if you compare, this a will be 5, this b will be minus 3, and the rest of the things are the same. So we can put these values a and b in this expression, and we can find the value of this integration. This will again be 5 pi by 32. So these are the 2 methods to solve this corresponding integration. Any doubt here? Okay. Now let's move to the next question. This is an infinite integration from minus infinity to infinity, x sine pi x and divided by x square plus 2x plus 5 dx. So we have already discussed such questions in the class. So how to solve this question? Firstly, we can convert this integration into a corresponding contour integration. We are just replacing x by z, and this limits we are replacing by a contour integration where the contour is varying from minus r to r, and this again we are having a some gamma contour here. The value of r will be tending to infinity, so this integration will convert directly to this here. So how to solve this integration? Firstly, we will find the poles. So the poles will be -1 plus -2 iota. So if I am considering this as my contour, so the pole -1 -2 iota will be here, and the -1 plus iota will be somewhere here. So actually this pole is inside the contour and this is outside the contour. So we will consider this pole to find the residue. So if we find the residue at z equals to -1 plus 2 iota, so the residue will be limit z tending to -1 plus 2 iota, and this z plus 1 minus 2 iota times the whole function. We can put the value of this limit in this function, and we will get that the residue will be given by this expression. So the residue is -1 plus 2i times the whole term here. Now we can use the Cauchy residue theorem to find the integration. So this integration will be given by 2 pi I times the residue. So it is so this integration will be now pi by 2 times 1 minus 2 iota e to the power minus 2 pi. If we solve this limit, actually there are two contours here. One contour is from minus r to r, and another is along this gamma. So we can write this complete integration in as the sum of two separate integrations. One is for a limit varying from minus r to r, and another is for the contour gamma. And that complete integration is given by this expression. As we have already discussed in the class, this integration, if we solve, will be going to 0. So this will tends to 0. So actually this term is equivalent to this integration value. Now here you can see that both the left hand side and the right hand side are complex numbers. So we can compare the real part and the imaginary parts of the two. So if we consider the left hand side, so the real part will be x cos pi x by x square plus 2x plus 5, and the imaginary part will be x sin pi x divided by x square plus 2x plus 5. And if we consider the right hand side, the real part is pi by 2 e to the power minus 2 pi, and the imaginary part is minus pi e to the power minus 2 pi. We can compare the two and we can easily solve that. We will have the integration. If we have a cos pi x here, the integration will be given by this expression. If we have a sin pi x term, the integration will be given by this expression. Our original integration was this.